لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سوى لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدًا عبده ورسوله. وبعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء من القول إلا من ظلم وكان الله سميعًا عليمًا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Honorable President of today's program, respected judges and dear esteemed audience. Today I would like to speak on the topic of the Islamic principles of freedom of speech. Dear audience, at a time when people were enslaved intellectually, politically, socially, religiously, and economically, Islam came to establish the freedom of belief, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and freedom to criticize. Islam strictly forbids that people be forced to adopt a certain creed or to believe in a particular religion. As Allah Almighty says in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2 and number 256, لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي. Let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2 and number 256. This Islamic principle of freedom did not come as a result of some sort of development in the society or an evolution that requested it, but it was a heavenly principle that was revealed for the good of people and to elevate them on the earth. But this freedom is guaranteed on the condition that religion should not be toyed with and people's honor and dignity should not be transgressed upon. Dear intellectuals, Islam guarantees freedom of speech and criticism and even considers it obligatory when it concerns the interest of the entire ummah or affects other Islamic morals or general ethical values. In such cases, Islam makes it mandatory upon every Muslim to speak out, revealing the truth, fearing none but Allah. It makes it incumbent upon a Muslim to enjoin what is good and set right what is evil, and to encourage whoever does good deeds and blame whoever does evil deeds. In this case, freedom of speech and criticism are deemed as an obligation and not merely a right one is entitled to. Dear friends, Islam stresses the principles of freedom, but it has nothing to do with freedom to insult. It lays emphasis on its exact opposite, freedom from insult. It values human dignity, decency, and harmony in the society. And my dear brothers, what is true of a society or village is true of the world, as it has become a global village. And now, more than ever before, the world needs harmony and tolerance that can only be achieved by freedom from insult, not by freedom to insult. My dear brothers, Islam reminds people to stay away from harsh speech. What we understand from freedom of speech is a political right to communicate one's opinions and ideas using physical means to anybody who is willing to receive them. And every government in the world restricts the freedom of speech to a certain degree. But ironically, some in the East started suffering from untreatable intellectual disorder. They say freedom of speech is absolute. You can speak anything against anybody at any time, anywhere, and in any way. Wow! Can you? What does it mean, my brother? What does it mean? Does it mean one can abuse others, can insult, can lie, can propagate against his own country, his own faith, can disrespect his own parents who have nourished him with care, can make the caricatures of the prophets, can abuse his Lord who has created him from a drop of water? Maybe yes for some, because their freedom of speech is absolute. But our freedom of speech is restricted. All we can do and speak is within certain limits. We are just humans, not God, who can do anything and everything, nor animals which do not enjoy the faculty of wisdom. We don't find either a place to do and say anything and everything, being absolutely free other than in a jungle. My dear brothers, Islam reminds people to stay away from harsh speech. As the ayah says, which I recited in the beginning, لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء من القول إلا من ظلم وكان الله سميعا عليما. Allah loves not the utterance of harsh speech save by one who has been wronged. And Allah hears and knows all things. Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 4, ayah number 148. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught Muslims to never let the law moral standards of their adversaries. As a result of these teachings, a Muslim can never imagine to insult any prophet, from Adam to Moses to Jesus and to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is our freedom of speech. May Allah give us tawfiq to follow the Islamic principles and save us from these sort of evil thoughts. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
A profound contribution to the domain of thoughts. Eastern Crescent. Alternative Media. People's Choice. For subscription and other details, please contact us on 022-2677-1618 or 022-2679-8538. You may also log on to www.easterncrescent.in.